Hey guys,
Hi.
today is a special day for us because it's our anniversary. And not only that, it's our 10-year anniversary. We've been married now for 10 years. Married July 22nd, 2010. And yeah, so due to COVID and now places opening,
Some places are open now, but you have to like make reservations. So it's like 6 people allowed to eat at a time.
Yes. So we decided to get have a nice dinner at home. We sent the kids away for the first time for the last 6 months. Yeah. So yeah, and we're here eating and enjoying each other.
So we are just gonna have dinner and kind of discuss our last 10 years. We said, like, you ain't know what we was about to talk about.
I know what we were going to talk about. I thought we were more eating than talking, but let's go.
Boy. So, yeah. So, on the ride to get, you have to chill with the chewing, though, because I'm so close to you. You putting the food in your mouth slower doesn't make you actually chewing any less worse. Okay. So, on the ride to get the food, I had asked my husband, like, we were basically talking about what was the most, what events that happened in our lives stood out the most in the past 10 years. So you can go ahead and share what you said.
So one of the moments that was, what was it? What did you say? That is.
In the past 10 years, what was the 3 top moments for you?
One of the 3 top moments is one time when we were living in Florida, Dina had to go back to New York with our daughter Hannah, and they were gone for about almost 2 months, and they finally came back because they had to go back for Hannah's school. But when they came back to come over the airport, like, I was just so happy. Like, it was just me and Genesis, and we got to bond. But it was like I got to have my girls back, and I felt so happy at that time when I picked them up from the airport, and I felt like, complete. So that was one. Another time we were in, we weren't living in Florida, but we went down to Florida for a little vacation. And
all your good memories in Florida?
pretty much, yeah. We went down and we just got a night out. We got a sitter, and we got a night out. We were just in Miami Beach, and we hung out on the beach. It was late at night, and we got to walk around and just have good time. That's all you need to know on what went down that night. But yeah, that was a memorable time for me. Other time is when we went on a boat ride around New York City, and it was just us. I think it was anniversary. It had to be anniversary.
I think that was our first year.
Our first year, that's right. Our first year anniversary. Because Genesis was just very small, and we had our first night out. And since we just had the first child, no, because you were pregnant.
What do you mean? No, I wasn't pregnant.
Oh yes, that's right. That's right.
Of course, I wasn't pregnant.
That's right. That's right. So, yeah, we just went out, and then we went on a boat ride around New York City. It was so nice. They had jazz music on the thing on the boat, and it was a beautiful night. So those are a few of the highlights, either from
Those are your top 3.
That was my top 3 that I remember thinking about to go to a happy place.
One of my top favorite one of my top moments for us is right after our wedding, the night of our wedding. We went back to the hotel, and I just remember we were opening up the cards that everybody gave us or whatever, and we were just having like a great conversation, and we were just laughing and just kind of over. Yeah, we were just so happy that the wedding was over, because it was honestly, it was stressful. It was stressful. It was a lot. I honestly, right now, I don't even remember most of the day. I just remember walking down the aisle and our vows. I remember kissing you. I remember our first dance, and then being in the hotel, and then just laughing and like talking to you. So that's pretty much what I remember about my wedding. Honestly, if it was up to us, we would have had a small wedding.
Very small.
And called it a day. But had a really big one, and I can barely remember most of it. Second one was, there was a year that for Valentine's Day that we went out, and it was very cold.
Oh.
So Patrick wanted to stay local. I don't know why that played a role in the coldness. I think it was probably because he was nervous that we wouldn't be able to find parking, so then he wouldn't have to walk.
It was freezing cold.
He wouldn't have to walk in the cold.
That night.
So he wanted to stay local to go somewhere where he knows he would get parking. So we actually went out in the town near us, and we actually we stole like parking from these old women.
And ran inside.
These really old women were like going for the parking that we wanted, and we ran. We got the parking, and then they got out the car and was trying to rush inside the restaurant, and I ran out the car and cut in front of them.
No shame.
So that nope, I didn't have no shame. So that we could get a table. We got the table though, and that's not even the best part. We were sitting there having a nice conversation.
On a table with no reservation.
On a table with no reservation.
On a
Valentine's Day. Yeah, it was completely packed. So we were having a great conversation. We were laughing or whatever. And there was another couple next to us who actually was engaged. But we were married. And this is already like, I think this is like 5 or 6 years in. And the lady looked at us and she was like, oh my gosh, when did you just get engaged? And I was like, we looked at each other, I was like, no, we're married. And she was like, really? How long have you been married? And I was like 5, 6 years. Well, at the time, obviously, I know we knew how long we were married, but right now I can't remember. So it's probably like 6 years, and she just looked at us like, oh, that's so awesome. You guys are just laughing and giggling like you just got together. Yeah. And I thought that was just awesome that she thought we were just like newlyweds or just engaged because we were having such a great time. Then to top off that night...
Oh, hallelujah.
To top off that great night, a waiter ended up spilling his food on top of us, and we got our entire meal for free. And this meal came up to like $350, almost $400.
No, probably like two something.
No, it was like 3 something, babe.
Oh Lord!
It was like 3 something. Because I remember when we went the first time, we only got our entrees, and it was like $150. And this time, when the food spilled, the owner came out and whispered something in Patrick's ears, and Patrick was just like, order anything.
We went in that night.
We went in. We got drinks, we got entrees, we got appetizers, we got dessert. We ate.
Everything. That's right. It was a lot of money.
Yeah, and we ended up pretty much just tipping the waiter like $50, $60 because we were just like, we didn't pay for anything, so he might as well get a nice tip out of it. And he was like, yes. He was like, this is what I'm talking about. Get food spilled on you and I get paid. So that was the second for me. And then the third is like right after our daughter was born. There was just a moment where Patrick was holding her and he was just looking at her, and then he was just like, oh baby, you're so beautiful. And I kind of just started looking at Patrick in a whole nother light as more, not even just as a husband, but like as a dad. Like I think that was the first time I really was looking at you like, oh my gosh, he's like a dad. Because I just saw like the love that he had in his eyes for his daughter, and it touched me. So that's my 3 top moments.
So at this point, after 10 years, what is your favorite thing about me?
About you?
Yeah.
Honestly, you're hilarious. Like, you're so funny even when you're not trying to be.
Right?
And you remain pretty much who you are. Like, regardless on who's around, you're Patrick. Like, you don't change depending on who's around. And I love that about you.
That's good. That's good. My favorite thing about you is that you are genuine. So I know that you never, no matter like through our 10 years, unless you're like very good at it, but
What?
very good at,
Like, I'm a psychopath?
yeah, or whatever. But you never had an agenda like with me, like, oh, I'm going to be with him so I could do this and I'm going to do that. You know, we just always about me, about your family. And I think that's why I'm like, you know, and like fully in love with you.
Oh, that was sweet, Cookie.
It was.
You gotta let me give you the compliment. You can't take the compliment.
I mean, hey.
What would you say was one of the hardest moments in the 10 years?
The hardest.
Or like just a time that you wouldn't play back ever?
I remember a time where we were having a light argument. We had Genesis and Hannah. We were having a light argument, but like things you were saying was getting me upset. I was starting to get more upset, agitated, and I got upset and I hit the wall.
Oh, I remember that. Genesis wasn't there. It was only Hannah.
It was Hannah. Okay. I hit the wall and you grabbed your kids and left.
I grabbed Hannah, I guess.
And left, and you kind of responded as if I kind of hit you.
Bro, if you have to hit anything, you already know I don't tolerate that. Physical, whatever business. But that, for me, honestly, let me tell you exactly why I left. I'm going to be real with you why I left. I know me very well. And for that, as soon as you hit the wall, first of all, I was like, this is clearly my husband lost his damn mind. Because this is not Patrick. That's number one. Second, I looked at Hannah. When you hit the wall, I looked at Hannah and she jumped and grabbed my leg. So at that point, Mama Bear was about to come out and me and you was about to like fight. Because I saw my daughter scared. So I was like, now I need to protect her. So I felt like I will attack this man if I don't leave. So that's why I was like, you know what? Let me take Hannah and leave so we don't end up literally physically fighting. Because if you want to hit something, we can hit. That's how I felt.
But it wasn't even an aggression to you. Like, it was just...
It clearly was because me and you was having a back and forth. So, if you want to hit, we can hit.
But it was even go in that direction.
It did for me. That's what I'm saying. I said I know myself.
Okay.
For you, it might have been just I'm annoyed, so you slap the wall. But for me, that's like fighting words. It's like when a woman comes up to you and she's taking off her earrings or like she's tying up her hair back. Like that was like you want to fight.
Yeah.
So I was ready to fight.
Okay.
And then the fact that Hannah grabbed my leg, I was like, she's scared, so now I have to protect her.
Okay. What was your worst time?
That was it.
That was your worst time?
Because that was it, because that was when the whole Florida thing was happening. That's what we were going back and forth about.
That's right.
And you still think it was like not that serious. So we'll make another video on that. Like, comment, subscribe if you want to hear about it. But that was a conversation about something like a move that we were making. And that was the back and forth that we were having about that particular move that we would be making.
Yeah.
And that actually, honestly, that was what I was going to say too.
That was the worst.
Because that was like the first time that I was like so angry with you that I would like, no, probably not the first time, but that was the first time that Hannah was like aware, and I saw the fear in her, and it was like, yo, it's me or you. I don't think I ever felt like that towards you before. Is there a moment that you would change in the 10 years?
Everything that we've gone through kind of molded, so I wouldn't really change anything. I would say I wouldn't, when we first had Genesis, I would be like a better father, and like I wasn't a good, like I kind of wasn't on top of everything, and you know, I think with Genesis and how I am now with Adam, I think if I was like that before, I think it would have been reduce our arguments and conflicts that we had in the first years of our marriage. If we could have had kids like a year after or a little bit more time to kind of, because our first years of our marriage were rough because we didn't have time to kind of learn and grow with each other first.
How to be married couple.
Yeah, we just became like a family like quickly, and so we didn't really learn us until like probably five years in or so, like really started understanding each other, and growing together. It was more like we had kids and we had to deal with them, so it was a little rough at first. So that's probably the only two things I would change.
Yeah. The kids part is what I was gonna say. I honestly, if I could make sure that my kids are exactly the same, but have them like you said, like a year or two later, but their personalities and them are just the same as they are, I would do that.
Okay.
Because I feel like you said, we needed to learn how to be husband and wife versus us being mom and dad right away. Well, it was more so me being mom and you trying to be a husband.
Yes.
Because you definitely was more focused on our relationship and I was more focused on being a mom. So I think we definitely needed that time to do that. But it worked out.
It did?
It worked out. So, no need to change anything.
No.
Would you marry me again?
I would definitely marry you again.
Nice.
Definitely marry you. A nice different setting. We were trying to have a vow renewal this year, but
Yeah.
COVID really messed that up. But I definitely will plan to remarry you.
Nice.
Refresh those rump rocking papers.
Did they get dusty?
You just gotta renew. You know, sometimes you have to renew the contracts. There's some things that weren't in there that need to be added.
What was there that needs to be added?
It's not for the camera.
Let's talk about it.
No.
What do you want to add to that? Make it PG-13.
Make it PG.
You can't.
I can. That's the whole point of rump rocking documents. It's not PG. If it's PG, then they're not rump rocking documents. They're just documents. So.
You're so silly.
I think what keeps it going too, if that is a question, is that I can.
It wasn't a question, but you
Oh.
can make it one.
Okay. I can make her laugh. If I keep doing that, then I think I'm good.
Do you try to make me laugh?
Some days, not all the time.
I feel like I think that's why I find you so funny. It's because you're not actually trying to make me laugh.
I'm not trying to make you laugh.
Usually you're like dead serious, but I just find it hilarious that the stuff that you be serious about.
I think I make it if there was a day that you weren't laughing or something, I'll try make an effort. Like, oh man, you guys are having a bad day. We're not fighting, but I gotta do something so you can laugh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But I think
You
that's
know what
big
my
for me.
favorite story is? That makes me laugh. Do you want to know
What story?
when the Jamaican kid attacked you?
Okay. Yeah, okay. That's not needed for now. It's just her own personal laughing story.
No. I keep telling him he needs to do a story time because Patrick's life is literally like stuff that you see on TV. Like you would really be like, nah, that didn't really happen to you. His life is literally like stuff that you see on like movies, like comedy movies. That's like, yo, where do they come up with this stuff? That's Patrick's life.
They're funny for you, babe.
Right. They're funny for most people. Thank you for sharing our anniversary with us. I had a great time, even though we were limited to
Yeah,
the outside world. But it's okay, because I like to be with you. If you want to hear about the story about us moving and the Jamaican kid that attacked Patrick,
Nope.
like, comment, subscribe, comment down below. say Florida or Jamaican kid beats up Patrick. Florida or Jamaican kid.
Nope. It's
Yep.
a hard no.
It's a hard yes. It's gonna happen.
Don't tell me
But
that
you
story.
just have to comment. Alright, guys. See you next time. Peace.